I don't know. I just got it in me. It just needed a good brushing. I don't know. Have you seen it? Sorry, Smoke. Pretty long, but you don't see it in the videos. So, what would you do if someone said they could control the weather? That they could control who got hurricanes and who didn't get hurricanes, and who got tornadoes and who got sandstorms. What do you think? Would you would you believe it's possible? We know some people think it's possible, but do you believe it's possible? And my girlfriend's mad I don't have her chair. But here we are with book 4 or book 20 and a half, depending on how you look at it. Welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Tina. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy smashy stuff going on here. And while we're just taking this minute here, this is book 4 of the British FBI series, or book 20 and a half of the Sherlock and Savick series. Savick does make a very, very brief appearance in this book, but it's not much. It's just a side thing, and he's not really even introduced because it's assumed you know him and all that kind of stuff. But this is just for Nate time, so I really don't have to finish it. But I can finish it. I can put, 3 or 4 braids in this last one. Oh, shoot. Don't you hate that? It's going to bother me all night now. There's one hair. There's one hair that's messing this up. Alright, so. This guy has Da Vinci. Supposedly, Leonardo da Vinci invented the weather machine. And then there is this family, the KOT. How did I write it out? KOHATH. And they're supposed to be directly descended from Moses. Direct descendants. Supposedly they can prove it. I'd like to see them get genealogical papers for that time period, but anyway. So you get the prologue is Da Vinci dying, saying that his papers must be destroyed. But his lover decides, he burns 1 or 2, but then decides, no, these are awesome, these are his drawings, these are his work, we're going to preserve them. And apparently, somebody got a hold of them and has been developing this weather machine for decades. And Jason Coath, the grandfather in all this, has perfected it, and he's able to throw sandstorms and tornadoes and hurricanes anywhere he wants. And he's got the technical equipment to do so. Then we have the twins. And they are very, very wealthy, very, very powerful people, very, 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 very full of themselves, tremendously full of themselves, over the head full of themselves. They're right, you're wrong, and if if you think that they're wrong, you're dead, because they will kill you, won't even think about it. It's got a little bit of a Bourne feeling to it. It's got a little bit of a Mission Impossible feeling to it. And then, of course, we have Nicholas Drummond, our FBI agent, who was a British agent, but switched over to the New York side because he is an American, and he has, I think his mom was American, and he wants to work in the New York office. And they created the special unit. I read it from the last book. They created the special unit for Mike and Nick. Mike is Michaela, but she likes to go by Mike instead. So they're becoming partners both home and abroad. And so they are Mike and Nick, and then Adam is their computer guy, and they've got a couple other people with them in their task force, and they're going to they get an emergency call from Kit Kassoon. We met her in the very, very first book in the final cut. She was the jewel thief. And she calls Nick and she goes, "Hey, look, I was hired to steal this staff that's supposed to be Moses's, but everybody knows it's fake. But the museum was promoting it as the real thing. These people have paid me 5 million euros to steal it, so I stole it. I give it to them. I go to give the exchange, and they decide after we do the exchange that I'm a loose end. They're going to kill me. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes down there, and there's a lot. There's very, very lot. Um, so so Nick and Mike and the crew get the call from Kitsune. In retaliation, the people that hired her kidnap her husband, and she needs Kit's help, Nick's help to get her husband back. So they go to meet her in Italy. There ends up to be a massive shooting. Somebody's bribing the cops. Delay your arrival by a little while. Here's a few dollars or euros or whatever the hell's going on over there. And so they delay it, so they're late getting there, and the shootout goes on for a little while. And then they try to arrest Nicholas, and Nicholas is like, we're the good guys here. I can get the vice president of the United States on the phone, talk to you real quick. So the cops back down, and one of their members gets hurt, and she ends up in the hospital. So her dad is one of the elite of the CIA. So he comes into it. But it kind of gets dropped. That kind of gets pushed aside and gets dropped, and you don't hear from that again. We still have Milo Zachary, their boss. We do get the very short, brief visit by Dylan. We have Agent Kimberly Trident goes with them. Louisa Barry goes with them. Louisa gets shot. We have Leah. We have Adam Pierce who does the computer stuff, and the Italian cop who's may or may not be on the take. Maggie Russo. She may or may not take. So Kit and them go over to try and help to figure out what's going on. Cassandra and Ajax are your two twins, the bad guys. They're going after Nick and Mike and Kit and Grant. They're holding Grant right now hostage. I know her goal was to have Grant rescued at the end. Obviously that's why they kept him alive, but I think in real life the bad guys would just kill him and be the end of it. But no, they take him and torture him and lock him up, and Kit's able to rescue him and stuff like that, so that works out for her. Sorry, spoiler alert. But the twins get so up in their own importance that they start to turn on their grandfather. Their father was having his biography professionally written, and apparently the biography was published, and it was like it only covered this much of his life. Someone comes forward with 150 years worth of notes and papers, and the woman goes, "Oh my God, this is be a second biography, part 2. There's so much more information here to spiel." And so someone comes along and kills the father and the biographer, so they both get dead, and they're both ruled cardiac until Nicholas says, "You need to exhume those bodies and redo those autopsies, because I'm saying those people didn't die of cardiac arrest, they were murdered." And the person that murdered them had been ordered to do so by the twins, which would have been their children, ordered the parents' death. In all of this, the mother was looking for the Noah's Ark, and she supposedly found it, and so then she faked her own death, and the kids have been looking for her ever since, because they never did find a body. But the grandfather knew stuff that they didn't, and they want the grandfather was capable of doing all these sandstorms and controlling the weather and sending the bad storms where he wanted to go. And Cassandra and Ajax want the grandfather to send a Class 5 hurricane to Washington, D.C. to wipe it off the map. Because that'll distract the authorities from going after them. And the grandfather is hesitant to do so. And things go six ways to Sunday from there. That's kind of a big, huge spoiler there. But so that's it. This, it's kind of disappointing. It took me a while to read this book. It took me a while, and read a little bit, do something else. Read a little bit, do something else. Read a little bit, do something else. Usually, I'll sit and read a book, and it takes me 2-3 hours tops. A big book like this, 2-3 hours. So wait a second. I want to get something. Hold on a second. So I paused the video to blow my nose and forgot to unpause the video for over 10 minutes. So I just gave 10 minutes of speaking about the book that I will never see. And oh, I'm so embarrassed. My girlfriend's here. She's gonna comfort mommy in her mistake. But it took me several hours to read. And it was on and off for a couple days. And I wanted to, if you're still here, thank Zooey Book and Selena and Trudy and Leaf Sonata for your continued support of my channel on a daily basis. But I was saying that I can get into if I get into a book, I'm hour and a half, 2 hours tops. The Balo books I did a little while ago. I read 2 of those each day. I did all 4 books in 2 days. I can go fast. I can read these fast. The ones back here, the mass markets, couple hours tops. There was this April 2014 or May 2014. Flashback Monday. Charlene Harris's Midnight Shift. I think that's what it's called. Midnight Crossroads. That took me 6 months to read because they did the meet and greet, and that drove me. I couldn't. Once I got past that, I read the book in a half hour. It was done. Once I got past the meet and greets, once everybody started meeting and greeting each other, all the characters were introduced, the book was done. I read it that fast. But that's one of those books that just took forever to read. And like I said, I have this relative, and I'm been talking to you for a little few minutes now, saying that Nick and Mike and were going to help Kit get her husband back, and also stop this guy from using the weather machine to destroy Washington, D.C., and the twins' obsession with power to the point where they'll kill anybody and everybody, including their own family members, to get what they want. So I had a relative and I decided to read a series together. And we were each going to read each book and then report to each other how the book was. And it was great. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Blah, blah, blah. Couple characters. Blah, blah, blah. My relative would write a 3-page essay, 1,000 words, and then she would get upset with me because I was so good. And she would have this 3,000 essays. So it just reminds me sometimes. So, this is book 20 and a half. And this is book 21. And then we will do book 21 and a half, or book 5 in the FBI series. So what do you think? We'll see what happens. And I'm trying to decide. I picked up this microscopic paperback. So you may be seeing a microscopic paperback tomorrow. It'll only take me... Where is it? I had it someplace. I got these two. They're new. This one is one of my authors. It's the end of the alphabet. She's over here. The books go in ABC order. They start ABC over there and come across, and H Harris, and they go across again, and then McAllister, and they go across again. Now a Sands. The bottom here is W, ending in Veal and Windsor and Vaughn. And I saw this itty bitty book. Hour tops, not even an hour. So you may see this tomorrow. And I'm thinking about this one. We'll see what happens. Have a good night.